4. Red nucleus, red lotus of Shakti. The red nuclei monitor the function of the cerebellum. There are 2 red nuclei, one on either side of the spinal cord, and their output pathways cross over underneath them. This is the crossing of the Ida and Pingala nadis. The Ida and Pingala nadis are the left and right sides of the autonomic nervous system, including sympathetic and parasympathetic nerve fibers. The pineal and pituitary body secrete the positive and negative substance along nerves that cross in the medulla. The cross formed by Ida and Pingala is actually part of a double cross, which forms the site of the crucifixion, as we will see later. 5. Olivary bodies, Getsemani, the olive garden. Dr. Carey refers to the olivary bodies as the lower part of the pineal. The olivary bodies are biblically symbolized by Getsemani, the olive garden. The olives are a collection of brainstem nuclei, which function as a relay station between the spine and cerebellum. 6. The lateral column of the spinal cord. The spine consists of 33 vertebrae, each symbolizing one of the years that Jesus Christ lived for. After travelling through the red nucleus, olivary bodies, and crossing sides in the rubrospinal tract, the 2 potencies come to the lateral columns of the spinal cord and subsequently continue through the autonomic nervous system as shown here. Summary. At the rubrospinal cross, the pituitary potency crosses from the left into the right side of the autonomic nervous system, and the pineal potency crosses from the right into the left side. This coincides with Harold Percival's description in Thinking and Destiny. From the pituitary, the lunar germ descends through the nerve plexuses on the right side of the autonomic nervous system along the digestive tract. We'll visit the semilunar ganglion next, as that's the path the potencies take to reach the solar plexus. 7. The semilunar ganglion, the Sea of Galilee. The 2 nadis, Ida and Pingala, converge into the body through the semilunar ganglion, where they merge into the solar plexus. Carey links the semilunar ganglion to Gennesareth, which the Metaphysical Dictionary claims to be the sea of divine life and the garden of riches. The semilunar ganglion is 2 sympathetic ganglions, one on each side of the solar plexus, comprised of several smaller ganglions which surround the solar plexus. It is entwined with the vagus nerve. Together, the solar plexus and semilunar are known as the grand centre of all the ganglions and plexuses of organic life. Having passed through the semilunar ganglion, the 2 potencies arrive in the solar plexus, which we will now take a look at. 8. The solar plexus, Bethlehem. Every 29.5 days, a seed is born in or out of the solar plexus. The oil unites with the mineral salts and thus produces the monthly seed which goes into the vagus. In other words, 3 streams unite in the solar plexus to form the monthly seed. 1, the pineal stream, 2, the pituitary stream, and 3, the breath, remember nitrogen and oxygen, which travels in the vagus. But what is this seed that Carey and other mystics speak so highly of? Well, in the spleen we find the actual scientific parallel, so let's head over there next. 9. The spleen, the manger, birthplace of the Jesus seed. The spleen is part of the lymphatic water system. Lymph waters are high in sodium, as are CSF and blood. The spleen is considered the sodium organ. Sodium and other mineral cell salts passing in and out of cells create the body's electricity. Not only does this electrical system run the body, but it is actually the subtle substance with which thinking is done. In other words, the popular manifestation mantra, thoughts are things, is completely true. Thoughts have form, mineral or mineral cell salt form. So the imprints made by thought in the waters of the body are of sodium and other mineral cell salt essences. Thought is literally creating the body with every breath. Now, here's the moment you've been waiting for. A full disclosure of the seed that is formed by the lunar and solar potencies. The spleen contains the all-important germinal center, symbolically known as the manger. This is the precise place where Jesus is born. Jesus is a germ of life. G.W. Carey. The spleen mysteriously creates cells. It does this by enclosing a minute body from the cerebrum within a case, Moses basket. Thus, within the spleen is formed the true physiological seed cells of the body. Germinal centres are sites of multipotent stem cell and white blood cell production. Hilton Hotema tells us that in their infancy, the multipotent stem cells produced in the lymphatic spleen are no different to procreative sexual stem cells. Up to that moment, the life and conduct of the male and female gametes, infant sperm and ovum cells, present nothing different from that of the lymph cells. The lymphatic system, including the spleen, transports lymph, a fluid containing white blood cells, throughout the body. According to Dr. Carey, the Great Regeneration invigorates white blood cell presence and production, thus improving the vitality of the body along all lines. The process of regeneration causes the white cells of the blood to overcome the prevalence of red cells. Therefore, the flesh becomes transparent and he manifests more and more of the Father. He is no longer man, but has become a god. Multipotent stem cells are infant cells which have the ability to become many types of bodily cells. They are formed by the union of the lunar and solar potencies from the pituitary and the pineal. Anna Kingsford describes this process beautifully on page 144 of The Perfect Way. In her bosom, protoplasmic lunar body, is conceived the bright and holy light, the nucleoli. The nucleoli of stem cells are the solar pineal potency, which are rich in, yes, you guessed it, nitrogen and phosphorus. The image shows the radiance of nitrogen and phosphorus in stem cell nucleoli. Anna Kingsford goes further to say that solar nucleoli are in fact the philosopher's white stone. The white stone has always been the object of special veneration. It is the well-known symbol of the divine spirit, the nucleoli of the cell, the sun of the system, the head of the pyramid. In summary, the solar germ electric pineal potency unites with the lunar germ protoplasm pituitary potency and the breath supplied by the vagus to form stem cells. Jesus. Professor Hotema explains this process most poetically. The spirit, a fiery nucleus of noetic intelligence, is plunged into the fluidic habitat of a body of watery flesh. On page 21 of the Facts of Nutrition, Professor Hilton Hotema says, the protoplasm of the cell surrounding the nucleus is the negative, lunar alkaline element. The nucleus is the positive, solar acid element. This makes the cell a bipolar mechanism, and the acid-alkali balance is imperative for life. He is telling us that every cell is bipolar or lunisolar. In short, the nucleus of stem cells contains nucleoli and DNA, solar, and the cell body contains protoplasm, lunar. The DNA chromosomes in the nucleus are tiny radio antennae. They pick up and receive solar rays and convert them into electric currents in accordance with the law of animation. The production of the physiological stem cells of the body are what the masters once referred to as Jesus being born in Bethlehem, the solar plexus, which innervates the spleen. The germs of life take on human form as they enter the stomach and spleen. Then, at the second stage, these human cells are taken down, fall, by Saturn into hell, meaning that in the organs of procreation they are conjoined with animal germs or procreative goat germs. So the seed then descends to the procreative organs, hell, via T12, as we shall now see.